In this assignment, I'm meant to answer the question of how geoscience is relevant to my life. But I feel the best answer to that question is with another question. How is geoscience not relevant to my life? Geoscience is intrinsically linked to every single physical object that exists on this planet. Everything that I have, everything that I use is enabled in part by the scientific field of geoscience. Even the immaterial aspects of my life are inherently linked to geoscience. Geoscience at its core is the study of the Earth. My initial impressions of geoscience were unimpressive. In my mind, I saw it as the study of rocks and only rocks, pretty separated from the rest of my life. However, throughout this semester, I have discovered the incredibly expansive scope that geoscience actually holds. We use geoscience and the dating of rocks to determine the history of the Earth. We use fossils buried in those rocks to tell the history of life. We use geoscience to study the weather that I check every morning before going for a bike ride. We use those same studies on weather to research the climate and try to save our environment and the entirety of the Earth that we know. I live in that environment. I live on that Earth that geoscience is set out to study. We all do. It's geoscience that's going to save the environment and the planet that we cannot live without. We all exist on this Earth, and without geoscience, that Earth and humanity as a whole could die. Climate change is going to kill us, and geoscience is really the only thing standing in the way. Geoscience also creates technology. The same technology that I'm using to write this paper and record this audio. The silicon in my computer's motherboard and processor was brought by geoscientists, who worked to figure out how to mine and refine silicates to get the silicon that all of us use daily. In that way, geoscience is partly to credit with everything that I do online, from my school to my social life to my not-so-social life. All from what I initially thought was just the study of rocks. Geoscience does not just help to provide the technology that we use, but also helps to provide the power that enables that tech to operate in the first place. We generally don't consider electricity and technology to be that closely related to geoscience and nature. But it is geoscience that allows us to have those things. It is geoscientists who provided the fossil fuels from the Earth that we rely so heavily on to make our cars, boats, trains, and society as a whole run smoothly. Without those fossils, who knows where we would be as a society? Certainly not anywhere near our current levels of comfort. While geoscience is clearly relevant to our lives in a myriad of physical ways, it also affects us in immaterial ways. Every weekend I go for a walk in Amnicon Falls State Park, just a few miles from my house. The waterfalls and serene nature never fail to rejuvenate me in ways that I really can't explain, but I'm sure you also understand if you've been out in nature like I have. Before the semester, I would have really never made that link to geoscience, but yes, it is geoscience that provides me with such a beautiful state park and all of the emotional comfort that comes with it. While those are only a few examples, they show how every possible aspect of my life is touched by geoscience, immaterial and material. Geoscience enables my internet activity, my emotional state, the entire planet, and humanity as a whole. I credit geoscience with pretty much everything that I have personally and that we have as a society. Without geoscience and the study of the Earth, we would likely have none of it, and might not even exist at all. So, thank you, geoscience.